Metacritic Roundup.
Two new games have Metacritic scores this week. Both, a little theme tying them together, are free on Xbox Game Pass the day that they launch. First up is Pentiment. This is the Obsidian Entertainment narrative-driven, like old-timey European fantasy. Is it fantasy or is it just like old-timey Europe?
I think it's old-timey Europe, and I think a lot of like the stories are like based off of like real history and stuff, like retellings and like stuff. So I think it's
sure.
It gets a little bit of that European feel to it.
It is a like decision-based sort of narrative-focused game. It's got a kind of an interesting art style. Before we talk even more about it, though, let's get those Metacritic scores. It's just got two. It's got one for PC, which is an 87, and on the Xbox Series X, which is an 86, although it is also available, obviously, on the Series S and the Xbox One. Justin, you've read a handful of reviews for this, haven't you? I would love to hear all about it.
I mean, the game is reviewing exceptionally well. So the game itself is one of these decision-based moral games that follows someone's life. And I'm going to be honest with you about this. It looks boring as hell to me.
Oh my gosh, you think so? I think this looks awesome.
I think the art style looks cool. Like, I think that part of it, I think is something that is like a positive to it. But like, I'm thinking of a game like when I'm looking at, I don't know, Monkey Island, playing that game. And like so much of that game was like fun with the art style and the humor and just like having me go through it. This one just looks like this kind of like decision-making horrible, like you put people in, it just does not look like it's a super fun game.
That's interesting that you say that. To me, this reminds me a little bit of Mass Effect, not necessarily in the idea of like, in the way that it handles choices. I think Mass Effect is pretty unique in the way that it handles like your impact on the story, because in a lot of games that do like the whole choices matter thing, it like the game always starts and it's like, yeah, the things that you do in this game will affect the story. Is your mind fucking blown yet? And it's like, this has been a thing since books, like since Choose Your Own Adventure books. Since I read a Choose Your Own Adventure book about being on the Titanic as a kid, like this is not a new concept, right? But Mass Effect, it kind of does that, but and it does that thing where it's like got the morality and it's like best to just like go one way or the other, like from the start. But there are a lot of smaller choices that don't necessarily have a huge morality moment tied to them that impact the story in a way that is subtle enough to make each playthrough feel truly unique, as opposed to something like an Until Dawn or something like that, where kind of like the only differences is like who lives and who dies and who tells your story. Little musical reference there. Never seen it. Don't care to. Anyway, do you know what I'm saying with that? Whereas like this game also seems like it's not making a huge deal out of its choices matter system in terms of being like, here's the right thing to do, here's the wrong thing to do. But it's got a lot more gray area to it. At least that's from what it seems to be.
I mean, basically it's like solving a murder mystery, which I think in of itself is like an interesting concept. And like, you kind of don't have all the information to make like the right choices about who did what, and it follows like a town through like several years, and it follows this main character. According to this Metacritic, it says his name is Andreas Mahler, a master artist who finds himself in the middle of murder, scandals, and intrigue in the Bavarian Alps. And I think like in of itself that seems like an interesting plot, but there's just something about it that just seems like, I don't know, it's not going to grab me in my current crazy time of game playing, because there are so many games out right now that are like awesome games, and they're just gonna keep coming. They're gonna keep coming. This like month, November, is a crazy month. But you know what, Peter?
You're a crazy guy.
I'm a crazy guy. No. I even if I'm not gonna play this game and don't need it, I'm really happy it's scoring well. Do you want to know why?
It scored so well for your fantasy team.
I know, it's my fantasy team.
It was such a good pick. There is so much coming out, and I'm worried that I'm not going to end up getting to play this one because this looks so good to me, at least. It might be the kind of thing that I try to sneak in there. Because again, it is on Xbox Game Pass, so it means I can pretty much just pick it up at any time. And it's out tomorrow as we are recording this, so that is the 15th. So by the time you are listening to this on Hitbox Day, you have access to Pentiment all on your own. So I'll be interested to see it for myself. I assume you're not going to pick it up based on like everything else that's coming. We got Pokemon later this week.
Yeah, Pokemon later this week. So I'm still into God of War, which we'll talk about later. But like it doesn't mean I wouldn't be able to like pick it up and play it. Like it's interesting to me. It just, as I'm like watching people talk about it, I was just like, oh, it's just this. Like
I think it's for a very specific person. When a lot of the like descriptions for this lead about like it's about like interpersonal politics. It's like so many people I think that's just going to be like, oh no, thank you.
I know.
For me, that's obviously something that I'm like very into. But
I'll fine. You could take my goat for this, like, or whatever. It seems like that's going to be a solution.
But they'll remember that.
The goat will remember that.
Bah. Yeah. So Pentiment. There you go. I'm probably going to try and sneak this in at some point. I'm gonna be by the time you're listening to this. No, it won't be out. But I'm reviewing the new Dark Pictures game. I've not played it yet. But like, I probably would hop onto this if I wasn't doing that this week. Gosh,
makes sense. I'm sorry. The Dark Pictures is keeping you from true happiness.
Yeah, I'm trying to go in with an open mind, but. We'll see how that. I've not played it yet.
You're gonna be playing it the whole time. You're gonna be like, it's not Pentiment.
I could be playing Pentiment, a game about political
intrigue and murder,
interpersonal politics. Yeah.